Hello everyone, it's Amity Sensei. Today I will show you all the useful shortcuts you can find in LumaFusion, which is a video editing app. Recently a mouse and a trackpad for the iPad, as well as the Magic Keyboard, which is this keyboard with a trackpad, have been released. And since they're released, the keyboard operation in LumaFusion has gotten a lot easier. And we can now create video quickly as well. I assume many of you are interested in making videos on your iPad. And if you know about keyboard shortcuts, or they call it command shortcuts too, it will definitely help you edit video a lot. So please remember them today. The keyboard I'm using is called GH5 keyboard with Japanese on it. So the position might be slightly different from yours or other keyboards with English on it. But keyboard shortcuts are pretty much the same, so I believe this should work for everyone. I'll also introduce you to trackpad gestures, so it's going to be a bit long video, but I hope you watch this until the end. Alright, open LumaFusion. We need to create a new project first. And to do that, from the plus button at the bottom left, go back to the screen with a list of projects. There we can find a plus button second from left, and that's for creating a new project. Name the project, and tap the plus button to start. About the screen, here we have what's called a source panel, where we can search and import videos from Camera Roll or File app. The screen on the right, which is black right now, is a preview screen, and the screen at the bottom is a timeline panel. Here I have a list of videos filmed at Adobe Max 2019 with my iPhone, and as I click a video once, it gets played on the right preview screen. This is where I can decide which part of the video and how long I want to use it. You can find these small yellow brackets both at the beginning and the end of the video, and they indicate the starting point and the ending point. So set the point and tap the arrow icon below that, which will then be displayed on the timeline screen. I just added the first one, so I'm going to keep adding the second and the third one. I click on the starting point and the ending point just now, but there is a quicker way to do this using a keyboard shortcut. If you press I on the keyboard, the point where you bring the mouse cursor to becomes a starting point. And for the ending point, press O on the keyboard to set it. So in point and out point. Remember I and O. Just like this, clip a video using I and O before inserting it down here, and this is the very first thing to do. I managed to add my footage, so from here, I'm going to introduce you to more shortcuts. First, I'll start with the trackpad down here. For the trackpad, swipe left and right with your two fingers for the indicator to move like this. If you pinch in or out with two fingers, the timeline gets zoom in or zoom out. So if you want to see the entire timeline at a glance, pinch out to reduce the size so you can see all. Right now, a bunch of clips is displayed in a line, but you could select one, long tap it, and move it somewhere to change the order of clips. When selecting a clip, you could just do that with your trackpad or touch the screen. But if you press C on the keyboard, it selects the clip or undoes like this. So remember to use C, which stands for clicking. So press C to select the clip, which can then be arranged differently like this. On a side note, in case you don't want the end of this clip only, do Command and B. B for bread. As you press it, you can split the clips like this. And the end of this clip is unnecessary, so select it and press delete, or another way to delete is to do Command X. Using this way, you can delete a selected clip as well. Next, when you want to duplicate a clip or add the same clip, select a clip and press Command D. You then have the same clip above the original one like this. So you could put it in between clips or keep it as it is. But either way, when you want to duplicate, remember to do Command and D. Remember D for duplicate. In case you make mistakes or you want to undo, press Command and Z to do that. So as you keep pressing Command Z, it keeps going back to the previous state. On the other hand, you can press Command Shift and Z to proceed to a newer state. So Command Shift Z is to redo. Next is about separating audio from video. Right now this clip has audio and video together, but go ahead and triple tap the trackpad. This way a new audio clip is added here.
Let me switch from a rectangle to a lasso, so that even if I go around one of the zucchini, and I'm using a mouse to do this, so this won't be pretty.
Like this, select the audio clip displayed below here, and delete it. Only the audio is removed, and the video still remains. So even though I'm playing a clip right now, there's no sound. So that's how you can remove the audio. I just triple tap to display the audio clip below, but there's a way to do it using a keyboard shortcut, which is Option and D. As you press Option and D, the same as before, only the audio clip gets displayed below like this. D for detach, so remember Option and D in order to detach audio.
Tool can be switched from a rectangle to a lasso, so that even if I go around one of the zucchini.
And the order of this clip can be changed freely by long tapping it like this too. And its audio gets moved at the same time. But in case you want to move them individually, we have to remove the link. And this removing the link can be done at the bottom here on the screen from the link icon here. Tap it to remove the link, only to move the video or the audio. If you want to do it on the keyboard, press Option and semicolon. Press it to separate the video and the audio clip. This way you can move only the video or the audio clip. Okay, next is about how to play a clip. To play, press the spacebar to do so. Press it again to pause. You'll probably be doing these a lot. If you want to play forward, press L. Now the video is playing at twice the speed. As you press it again, it goes back to the original speed. So you could play forward to the point you want to work on as you edit your video. On a side note, we have these arrow buttons. And as you press the right arrow, it proceeds one frame forward. On the other hand, as you press the left arrow, it goes back one frame backward. So it kind of rewinds. And as you keep pressing the Shift button and click on the arrow icon, it proceeds 10 frames forward. There's also a shift button here on the right, so you could use it too. So press here and tap the arrow icon to step 10 frames forward. And as you tap the left arrow, it steps 10 frames backward. Next, if you quickly want to access the starting point of a single clip, for instance, tap the upward arrow here. As you tap it, it takes you to the very beginning of this clip. And if you want to go to the very end of it, tap the downward arrow to jump to the ending point. In case you want to go to the starting point or the ending point of this entire timeline, press Shift and opening bracket or Shift and closing bracket to go back to the beginning or the end of this video. By the way, this can be done by pressing A or S on the keyboard as well. A is to go back to the beginning of this timeline, and S is to go to the end of the timeline. So you could use either way, so use whichever you prefer. Next is about a shortcut to apply effects quickly. Here we have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the keyboard. And pressing 1 will take you to the editing mode to change the size. And if you press 2, the editing mode will be set to adjust the speed for slow motion or fast forwarding. We don't have number 3, and 4 is to adjust the audio. And 5 is an editing mode to set color effects, where you can apply filters, blur, or sharpen a little bit, or change the color tone making it brighter, and etc. On a side note, what you can do here is that you can increase the brightness from the level here, or rotate your image a little when it's tilted from the size change. So you don't need to use tabs every time, and instead use 1, 2, 4, and 5 to quickly switch the effects panel, so I hope you can make use of this. If I want to apply the same effects applied to this clip to other clips, the easiest way to do it would be to select this clip with a C on the keyboard. Then press 5 to go to the tab on color effects. Here you can find the one with color effects already set from earlier and save this in your bookmark tab. Here you can find the star icon at the upper right, and this is the bookmark tab. At the bottom here, there is another star icon, and as you tap it, it says Effects Presets, and this is where you can save. So save your presets here first. The name can be anything, so I'm just gonna put Amity Effects 1 and save. Once it's saved, go back to the screen with the timeline and select the clip you want to paste it to with a C on the keyboard. So select it, and now press Option and P. This will then give you a list of effects presets and color effects. So I'm going to click on Amity Effects 1, which I saved earlier. Now the presets are pasted here. And this is probably the quickest way to do it. Like this, select a different clip, and again Option P to paste the effects. So you can keep doing this, and there is a bunch of clips right now, and what's saved in these presets can be pasted to all of the clips. Unfortunately, you can't select multiple items in LumaFusion, so you'd have to access the user presets and paste every time. By using Option and P, it can be done quickly, so please use this function. Next, I will introduce you to adding text. When adding text, press Y on the keyboard. As you tap Y, you should see text above here like this. For now, it should say your text here on the screen here, but if you double-click this clip, you can start editing text by selecting the letter T at the bottom here. So now you can edit text. Type in your text here, such as Adobe Max Japan in my case, and the size or font of your text can be adjusted on the right panel, so set them according to your preferences. Once it's done, go back to the timeline by tapping the back button at the upper left. Press the space bar to play your video. On a side note, if you double-click the previous screen, you can play it on a full screen. Like this, just having text makes the video look really cool. So I suggest putting them in the beginning or somewhere on your video. Regarding this text function, there's a way to place text between clips. To do so, move your cursor to the point and press U. This enables text to place between clips. Then, like we did before, double-click here so you can edit text. And you could say something like day 1 or day 2, kind of as a side caption, and this will definitely make your video more interesting with more scenes added. So I hope you can make use of tips like this too in your video. Now when I look at my video, this clip switches to the one with the caption without transition, as you can see. This is fine, but here I want to show you how to add some sort of transitions so that the clip can be switched kind of more lightly. First, move the cursor to the point you want your transition to take place, and to do so, press either the upper arrow or downward arrow so you could bring the cursor to the end of a clip here. While keeping it there, press U on the keyboard. This enables the purple transition between clips, as you can see. So here, the clips got such a beautiful dissolved transition like this. Let me play on full screen. So for those who want to make your video look cool, I suggest using transitions. And as you kind of stretch or adjust the width of transition like this, you could set the length of transition. So you can set the transition longer if you prefer to have text appear gradually, or if you prefer to switch clips quickly, make it shorter.
I really wanted that.
The last thing I want to introduce you to is voiceover. Voiceover is something used to explain something to the audience by using off-camera voice. And to do that, move the cursor to the point and press V. This will have the volume panel appear at the bottom, and this is where you can record your voice. Let me show you how this works.
はい、皆さんこんにちは。今日は Adobe Max Japan 2019のレポートをしていきたいと思います。
Okay, once you're done, press the space bar to stop your recording. When you're finished, there's an apply button at the bottom left, so tap it and it should be all set. Now your voice should be added. Let me play mine here.
はい、皆さんこんにちは。今日は Adobe Max Japan 2019のレポートをしていきたいと思います。
Okay, just like that. I don't have anything attached to my iPad right now, so the audio quality isn't that great. But if you use a microphone, you can record high quality audio. So using the iPad, you could even create a tutorial video like this one I'm doing right now too. So yeah, we can do pretty much everything on the iPad, but the only thing is that 4K videos don't really work too well with the iPad from what I've experienced. So I suggest using a full HD when creating a video, but all in all, you can do everything on your iPad, so please try it out when you have time. On a side note, the command and keyboard shortcuts introduced today can be found by long tapping the command key on the screen in LumaFusion. And there you can see a list of shortcuts, and I actually referred to this as I explained them today. There are around 3 pages, so in case you're lost, remember to long tap command key to figure out what you want to do. Alright, that's all for today. What do you think? I've talked about so many keyboard shortcuts and you may find it difficult to remember everything at first, but please watch this video multiple times for your review and master them. Once you remember these keyboard shortcuts, it really makes video editing so much easier. So even though you may struggle first, please try to remember them. Also, I'll be super happy to hear from any of you who decides to start editing videos on their iPads. So please let me know if that happens. Alright, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!